Innistrad is the horror set. It's the grim, the darkest of all Magic environments, although I would say there are other sets that have similar parallels. Amonkhet, for example, was pretty grim. Whilst Whimsy isn't completely out of place, it's not something you associate with Innistrad. So whimsical and almost wholesome meme-like cards like Croaking Counterpart are a interesting juxtaposition or contrast to the rest of the set. And this card was popular when it was previewed and spoiled on Twitter. People fell in love with it for good reason. The artwork of Young Hao Han, hopefully not butchering the pronunciation too badly there, is incredible. We know it's Innistrad because of the style of hat, but it's made from a leaf. They're on a heron, another hallmark of Innistrad, so it's got a lot of the thematic anchoring iconography, but it's this wide-eyed, awkward-looking frog atop the heron, and it's just wicked. I also want to say the name Croaking Counterpart and frog is the sincerest form of flattery is incredible. So Croaking Counterpart is probably one of my favourite cards from the whole set. It's tied up there with Flesh Taker, the hillbilly horror, Texas Chainsaw Massacre themed little kid wearing a skin mask, which is so creepy, and also Candle Trap. There's just something about the exorcism via Coven, a group of collective individuals of different experiences and power levels managing to exorcise a demon or similar. I think the theme is just beautiful, even if none of these cards see much constructed play. For that reason, I actually reached out to Wizards of the Coast. I talked to Gavin Verhey about who it was that designed this incredible card. I wanted to do a video either on Flesh Taker or Croaking Counterpart, and Croaking Counterpart was the one that I was able to get some info on. So I reached out to Reggie Valk at Wizards of the Coast, who this was their baby. I couldn't really figure out like what this was referencing in terms of pop culture horror reference because, well, I just couldn't. I mean, is it frogs? Is it this movie here? The horror film about frogs? I doubt it. They're more than willing to talk, so I thought I'd share some of the insight that I got from them. I asked them, was this top-down design? Was it theme first and mechanics later? That's what top-down design means. You come up with the concept from a theme, and then you design the mechanics underneath that to prop up said theme. They said, and I quote, "In some sense, this was a bit of both. Though slightly more mechanics first, the design team was trying to fill in the cycle of rare 2-color flashback spells and weren't super happy with the Blue Goon one at the time, so I had a clear design goal in mind. Whilst brainstorming, I realised that the set didn't have any clone effects, which could be a promising space, but I needed to think of a way to involve green through flavour and or function, and frogs just fit the bill for a pitch." Which ties in well with my next question, which was, why frogs? I asked, is there a particular legend or horror story that came to mind? And Reggie said, "Frogs made sense to me for a few different reasons. We've made cards like Turn to Frog before, so the creature type is associated with transformations into 1/1s. Frogs are commonly associated with witches, which were being represented heavily in Midnight Hunt thanks to the Dawnheart Coven, and also frogs are anchored in blue and green throughout Magic's history. The Gitrog monster existing certainly helps frogs feel at home in Innistrad, but it wasn't a big inspiration here. Coming up with a playtest name, I had Amphibious Alteration, which also helped, though I loved the move to Croaking Counterpart. Next up, I was interested to compare it, as I always do, to older versions of the cards, especially within similar blocks or blocks on the same plane. So immediately I was asking, comparing it to Cackling Counterpart from the original Innistrad and cards like Turn to Frog, what made you want to shift this into green? And Reggie responded saying, green-blue gets to copy creatures a fair amount. Altered Ego, which is a great example actually, because it's from the last Innistrad set, so we get to see like a through line of clone effects within this context. Double Major and Progenitor Mimic with other examples that they gave. I thought the frog flavour here justified the green. There is a slight bend to make the creature smaller rather than larger, they said, like say Altered Ego, though we've seen it before with cards like Snake Form. And then lastly, I just wanted to understand the comic relief. I mean, it's not unusual to see comic relief in a Magic set, or even in Innistrad, so it's not like I'm saying this is a move away from form or anything, but I was just trying to get some background. I asked, there is an element of comic relief or even whimsy to the card's flavour, was this conscious? And they responded, yeah, the intention of adding some whimsy or charm was definitely intentional here, though I have no idea how great Young Hao Han's art would be. Whilst Innistrad sets intentionally have a grimmer atmosphere, we've seen one-off lighter cards before, such as Topplegeist and various homunculi, and I felt the set could stand to use a bit more, since I've seen how much much joy simple, light-hearted cards can bring to the community. Still, while I felt Frog was a good pick, props go to the creative team for following through on my silly idea. In another world, we might have seen the 1/1 token be an insect with a darker metamorphosis theming, but after seeing the community response to Croaking Counterpart, I think the team made the right call. And you know what, Reggie? I agree. This card is so good. I'm going to be playing it in decks that I shouldn't be playing it in Commander for years to come, because it just... I don't want to sound I don't want to sound cheesy here, but it fills me with joy. I hope you found this a little insight into one of the best cards in the set helpful. I hope to do more of these in future, and I really want to say thank you for Wizard of the Coast actually responding to my emails to give us some information. I love this peek behind the curtain. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think of the video in the comments below, and if you're looking to pick up any Magic cards from the newly launching Channel File Marketplace, by the link in the description below, use the code KENOBI at checkout to help support this channel. And I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.